Talk Radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What up, Knox Nation? Your boys are back for another episode of Card Knocks. I'm Kyle. I'm hanging with my boy Brian. We're really excited for the NBA draft tonight. We're going to get into a lot of the action here. Really exciting stuff. We are going to also be ripping some Prism Draft basketball. So getting into a product of cards, being able to show some of that. A lot of you, I'm sure, are going to be in here for the break. So thanks for hopping in that. Good luck. And what are you looking forward to with the NBA draft tonight?
Yeah, certainly looking forward to see any more trades. I mean, as we've already been having today, I think we've had two. We had the Knicks move up. They traded their 27th and their 38th, I believe it was,
right,
for 23. Which, I mean, the Knicks, from what I've heard, also want to even move up further. They want to move from 8 to 5. So it'll be very interesting to see if they do that. I mean, the Knicks, as we all know, not the best on draft night. Not the best on draft night. So very, very interesting to see them make the move beforehand. And the Sixers as well have shed that horrendous contract of Al Horford. Which,
God bless.
Thank God. I mean, that, to give up, first round pick, albeit 2025, who cares? Second round pick tonight. Sixers have 5 picks tonight, so that doesn't really hurt them at all. And, to get rid of that contract and get Danny Green, who's a shooter, who the Sixers completely lack. So
it's an interesting trade all around for sure.
Definitely looking to see, what else the Sixers may do with Daryl Morey. But then also, all these other moves. There's a lot of other things potentially on the agenda for the evening from the rumors out there.
Yeah, so basically, we want to give you guys our live reactions. We're going to be following along with the draft once it comes on. I think it should be starting up around 8 o'clock. We'll be getting into analysis. We'll talk more about the trades. Feel free to jump in with any questions. We're going to be monitoring that throughout, and we'll be happy to take some of those. Once we get into the break, we want to thank our partners, Quick Rips, quickripsbreaks.com. So make sure to check them out. They're going to have a lot of breaks coming to you soon, a lot of different product. It's really exciting stuff. So we're looking forward to showing some of that off. They do a great job, and really exciting to have them on. So again, a lot of fun to rip open boxes of cards. I mean, that's why we're here. But to sidetrack for a minute before we get more and more into the NBA draft stuff, Brian and I actually had the opportunity. We took a trip out to Dallas for the Dallas Card Show during this past week.
Allen, Texas specifically. Allen, Texas.
Yes,
just
sir.
North of Dallas. But
Dallas Card Show. It's somewhere over there. It's in Texas, I promise. So we had a great time.
Yeah.
Been to a lot of card shows we've been to together.
Been to the National numerous times, and
it was up there.
Just shout out to the guys at Dallas Card Show, Kyle Robertson. Phenomenal show. I can't really say enough good things about the venue, the people there, the dealers. I mean, just everything.
Unreal.
It was top notch. There were not very many, if any, museum type tables where you can't do anything at the table. You just go look at stuff. No, every table was up, making moves, buying, selling,
A lot
trading.
of action.
Just a lot of stuff going on, which was really, really nice thing to see for sure. It's a definite change of pace from a lot of these, more large shows, I guess.
I mean, good people, good cards, good times. I mean, all around, it was just a reminder of why we do what we do, and really cool to see that. I mean, not everywhere you see Steve Aoki walking around, picking up things.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, some of the biggest names in the industry, celebrities there. I mean, you name it. I mean, the Dallas Card Show had it. People were asking me, "Well, you've been to a national?"
Agent was there.
Yeah, there were some big
lot of
people,
big
names, all of that. So, I mean, it really just shows you that it is all just getting started, and it's brought a lot of excitement in for sure. I mean, I know that you and I both had some insane pickups, which was great. I mean, the buying was awesome. You could go up to any table there and make a sale, trade up. I mean, just nonstop action. It's everything you hope for in a card show. So I know they'll have another show coming up, but we had a blast.
It's in January.
Yeah.
The show's in January. The next one's out there. If you're into the card stuff at any level, I highly suggest taking the time in January. Just look up DallasCardShow.com, I believe it is, and you'll be able to find the dates there. Definitely go check them out because, again, that show was – oh, look at this. Rockets have sent Ariza in the 16th pick to the Pistons.
Wow, so we already got a trade popping up there.
Just like that. Just brand new trade alert right there on the bottom line. Ariza in the 16th pick to the Pistons.
Not to mention, we've had this up on the screen. Klay Thompson injures his right leg. I don't know how significant the injury is, but the Warriors will be picking second tonight. So
could influence their pick.
Finally, I mean, you thought you were getting that team back together and just going to let them run. But anyway.
Back to that Dallas Card Show real quick. Just wanted to shout out, like, once again, that whole crew there. We went out there in May. It was the beginning or the end of, not the end, I guess, but it was when things were starting to open up again. And the show was okay. The show was, decent, a lot of room, not as much going on. This time, far exceeded expectations. Can't wait to go back. But back to what I was saying about if you're into it in any way, make sure you try to get out there. It will open your eyes to a lot of things in this industry. It will make you, realize just how relevant sports cards are today. And just how much they are continuing to be the lead alternative investment probably, in the world.
Well, that's what's significant. You saw people that were there as just fans of the whole thing, fans of teams, collectors, buyers and sellers, investors, dealers. I mean, like, everyone had a different approach to it, but it all came into one room and everyone found what they were looking for and more. No one could have possibly anticipated what took place. And I alluded to the amount of money that was being tossed around the room. I joked about the amount of taxes being evaded. It is crazy to think how much money was in that room. You think over under like 100 million?
Easily. There was, I mean, the level of quality, I guess, stuff that was in that room was just unbelievable. I mean, there was one gentleman there who had just just shy of every possible parallel, which a parallel is a different type, a different color card of all the same card. We can get into that another show, but he had the Luka Doncic rainbow going on. That's what they call that. And that rainbow alone is probably worth $250,000 in its own right, if not more.
Saw a Mickey Mantle 1952 Topps.
Yep, PSA 9.
That's one of the most coveted cards in the game, and in that kind of grade, it just doesn't even look real.
Nope.
It
does not.
It was monster card after monster card. You could have discussions with all the dealers about something that they had in their cases. It was a lot of. It was just a lot of fun. It was special to see. It was energizing for everything that we're doing, continuing to do. So really significant stuff. Got to talk to some people about the show, and and not to mention that just 1 week later, now we're going into this weekend, and Brian has the Bay Area Clearwater Sports Card Show, which is another great show. So if you're going to be in the area, make sure to catch that. So shows on shows. We're not stopping anytime soon. It
don't take breaks.
No, you can't.
You can't. Full time.
Yeah. So but again, it was like being on vacation, except we were working really, really hard.
And we actually, for the Eagles fans out there, maybe cover your ears, but we did go and check out AT&T Stadium while we were out there. Took a little tour of the stadium out there, which was actually kind of eye-opening, really.
Insane.
It made me, again, cover your ears, Eagle fans, but it made me respect Jerry Jones's hustle. Being in an industry where you're your own boss and you're responsible for making your own decisions and you're in charge of yourself and your business. Jerry Jones heard some things where his electric bill was too high. So what did he do? He went and bought the electric company. So that fact right there, it was eye-opening to me, and it just made me realize, like, you just kind of, there's ways like where you can just pay yourself, and that's basically what he did. I mean, he bought
Took
that
money
company,
from one pocket and put it into his
right
other
into
pocket.
the other pocket. I mean, that just, again, I'm not a big Jerry Jones fan, but that made me respect him a lot more. So, but that was just a little side note. Let's see, what do we got? No, Benjamin Joshua. That was the National Card Show that was supposed to happen in July and August, the end of July, early August. That was canceled, then moved to December in Atlantic City as well. That was also canceled. I think Governor Murphy up there has a lot to do with a lot of that.
Disappointing, but
very disappointing. But Dallas has done a great job.
I was just going to say Dallas. I think Dallas, that past show became this 2020 year's national in a sense. I think everybody was waiting on that kind of magnitude of a show to let loose, spend a lot of money, make a lot of money, and really go after making things happen, especially getting towards the end of a year. So we got our national in, and just to be grateful for that, just to be having shows like that. But they'll be back. Nationals are an incredible opportunity to see everything in this entire industry that it has to offer.
So we got a little question from Jake Friel. He said, "What's up, boys? What's going on, Jake? Aside from LaMelo, what other rookie card do you think is a must grab?" You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I mean, I'll start it off. I think everything that I'm seeing and hearing, I don't have too much to go off of, would lead me to believe that LaMelo is going to be the real deal. But aside from LaMelo, I have to think that James Wiseman is going to be really, really interesting in an NBA setting. I think he has parts of his game to work on. Everything you're hearing, it can improve in certain areas. But at the same time, you see so many of these guys develop over a year or two, or guys in the second or third year that we're seeing that a couple of years ago were touted because of their skills and talent. James Wiseman is going to be really interesting to watch. The top few picks are still questionable, which is interesting. It's not something you typically see. Usually it's like, hey, here's your 1, 2. There's a question at 3 or 4, and then 5 and 6 are pretty much decided. I don't know what we're going to see here, but I would say that aside from LaMelo, James Wiseman's going to be an interesting one to watch. And in a general sense, the way cards move for rookies, for speculation, any basketball rookie right now, there's no one to say that it's a bad play in terms of percentage return as an investment. Right. So something interesting. But Bri, who do you have aside from LaMelo, who's fan favorite or a popular guy, brand wise? Who do you have?
For me, I got to go Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin, he's one of the older, early projected picks, but Obi has a very polished game out of Dayton. Usually, the older guys don't necessarily sell too well out of the gate, but there's a lot of teams up in the early lottery where if he goes to one of these bigger markets, he's going to be not only is he going to be highly regarded in the hobby, but I think he's got the type of game that will translate immediately to the NBA and will be, a lack of a better way to put it, an immediate contributor. He will find a way. A lot of people talked about Rui last year, how Rui would make an impact and Rui would be this, Rui would be that. Rui did well. Rui did very well. I think Rui will continue to develop, but I think Toppin will come in and become right away what people were thinking Rui would become.
An interesting comparison I had in a sense of being great in college. I would look at just based on college performance translating to the NBA, the way Ja came out in his final year in college and really turned some heads. Not the same type of player exactly, but in a similar nature to Obi. It's, you would think a guy might be able to make that transition right off the bat and really impress coming into the league. So right now, Anthony Edwards is actually the favorite to be drafted first overall. There's a lot of questions being asked about that too, because like we said, it's not a automatic right now. It seems that he is
no Zion,
speculated.
LeBron or anything in this draft.
There's no right answer yet. And that's what's special. You're going to see guys land in certain spots, maybe question it, and things just fall into place. I mean, you're talking really easy to look now and look at 2018 and see how easy it would have been to pick those guys. Meanwhile, Luka. Imagine Luka Doncic getting traded for anyone, but he got traded for Trey,
Right.
and those guys were both probably the best players out of that. But then there was Ayton, who came up, and that draft class wasn't speculated about like last year's either.
Nope.
So last year was really easy
Very easy
to figure that out and put it in place. But this year, there's no guy that stands out, and that's kind of how it was in 2018. Yet 2018 might be one of, if not the strongest draft class of maybe the decade. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
We could get into that a little bit later, or maybe in another episode, talk about some draft classes over the years. But I think 18 is insanely deep. It's got guys that I don't think a lot of people have even heard of yet that still are so young to make an impact. Troy Brown Jr. just comes to mind. With Washington, if Beal gets out of there or somehow Wall gets out of there, Troy Brown, paired with Rui, might be their two main guys depending on what happens tonight as well. Then there's Lonnie Walker, Reading, Pennsylvania native. That guy, he in and out of Pop's doghouse all year last year, all year his rookie year, but when he plays, that guy puts up buckets. Single-handedly won a game with an overtime performance, putting up, I think it was 24 points in the fourth quarter in OT.
Right.
And his cards at that night went bananas. Everybody picked up his cards, spent crazy money, and that's what we're talking about when we talk about how the market is very reactive. All the guy has to do is have one good game and forget it. His stuff goes crazy.
Well, in terms of that reactive market, let's take a different discussion on the reactions of a market to trades taking place.
Yeah.
So we just saw a trade take place with Chris Paul.
Correct.
Chris Paul ends up in Phoenix. Not necessarily speculated until the day or two before the trade, I would say, comes into play, and all of a sudden you have a veteran future Hall of Famer coming in to complement Devin Booker and a growing DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Paul's prices aren't really anything to be seen. His market isn't too affected.
Nope.
But whose was? DeAndre Ayton's prices spiked through the roof.
Insane.
Now, across the entire NBA market, if you go card to card to card, you're going to see bumps right now. It is slowly and steadily rising day by day, getting back towards the season. That's anticipated. I think a guy like Ayton, who has so much to offer, it was going to happen, but maybe not as heavily of a spike and maybe not as rampant. Maybe not that high of a price until it really proves something on the court. Coming off of a trade for a veteran point guard, all of a sudden, Ayton's prices go through the roof. So we're seeing, 20%, 30%, 40% increases in some main cards across the board, but then Ayton's really just compounding overnight.
Yeah,
and
they went like, I believe, 35 to 40% overnight.
Right.
I think it was somewhere in that vicinity. They were basically sitting at about 125 per PSA 10 graded copy, and now they're closer to 200. They were 180.
And that's just as Prism specifically, but
right,
I think
but
across
that's
the board.
Just one example of how they massive jump just
right.
overnight, just with the news of a trade of a veteran point guard going to Phoenix. Booker's prices even went up. Booker's prices went up too. It's funny how Chris Paul, whose market really isn't much, because everyone's looking for that next, generational talent. And right now, Chris Paul is what he is.
He played great last year.
Very, very good player, extremely good, Hall of Fame player. However, he's not that exciting. And most of your, new blood into this card market are the younger generation. So they want the younger guys. They want the new guys, the fresh guys. And Chris Paul doesn't check those boxes, but Devin Booker does. So does DeAndre Ayton. So you see a guy come in like Paul who will make those guys effectively better. And so then, therefore, those markets, had gone up, which
Ayton had room to run, though. That's another thing. Devin Booker, a guy like that, his prices are up there, and he hasn't really done too much. I think his accomplishments for a little bit here are kind of encompassed within his current prices. So Ayton had room to run. I don't think it's a guy who got his fair share and then noticing, hey, that team's being put together. They're putting pieces together.
Yep.
Hey, there's a reaction there. So we'll have to see how things like that play out. But just across the board, it's something to watch with these trades. Talking about a guy like James Harden being thrown around all over trade rumors right now and how significant of an impact that can make wherever he would end up. Obviously, speculation with Brooklyn, where
Brooklyn.
he apparently wants to be, according to certain sources. We don't know. For all we know, he stays in Houston. Should be really wild to see play out. But a trade like that, imagine the effects of a trade like that with even prices of guys on whatever team it may be. If he goes to Brooklyn, you already have a market for Kevin Durant's first cards in a Brooklyn Nets jersey.
Yep.
You already have that there, or Kyrie, same deal. Add him to the mix, forget it. I mean, because then you're talking about basically betting on a favorite.
Correct.
And that's where I would see that. I think James Harden goes to Brooklyn or gets traded to Brooklyn, as long as no overly significant pieces are traded, which they wouldn't if you still have Kyrie and Durant on the team. Durant's prices go up. It specifically in a Nets uniform, I would think, maybe even across the board all the way down. I would think Kyrie sees a bump for sure.
LeVert.
And then the rookie classes of recent years, because then the question becomes who's going to complement that team. Yeah, you got your big three guys, but you need guys on the main stage that are going to perform.
Yeah,
so
100%. And I think in that scenario, if Harden somehow did end up in Brooklyn, again, like you said, you'd see that trickle down effect to guys like LeVert, Jared Allen. But again, and who knows who the Nets may add tonight. But that brings us to our poll question, actually, which is brought to us by Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. They got 3 locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton, New Jersey. Tonight's draft picks will be ready to make an immediate impact on their teams. Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, normally I would think a draft class, the top of a draft class specifically, would be able to make an immediate impact, especially top picks are going to get that kind of playing time and those kind of touches throughout the season or beginning of the season. But I don't think the time frame is there where they're going to get the minutes they otherwise would have. They kind of have to be bred from here, I think. And we're starting up a season in basically preseason, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to the season, whatever it amounts to. I don't think there's any way that you can expect these guys to be acclimated quickly. Now, immediate first couple months, no. Immediate impact as in this season, I think by the end of the season, you can see guys really start to find their game. It definitely has to be an uncomfortable situation, jumping into a new locker room, new guys, and all of a sudden you're a pro, you're on the court in your NBA debut, your first weeks as an NBA player, trying to figure out the environment and find yourself. And so I can't think it's going to happen too quickly, but maybe throughout this first season, I think guys will have the opportunity to really settle in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna agree with it. The Sixers also got Terrence Ferguson in that deal. I just saw on the bottom line. Not really too relevant anyway, but no, I'm gonna agree. I think that some of these guys, they've been sitting around doing nothing for 6-7 months. College seasons were canceled, high school seasons were canceled. So these guys have been training and getting ready. For this opportunity. Sure, they may only have a matter of 5.5 to 6 weeks before, they're stepping on the court as a pro. But, this era is a different class of athlete. And I think a lot of these guys are going to have opportunities right away on their teams to make those impacts. So I'm going to say that they will make impacts early. We saw certain guys last year make early impacts, like Kendrick Nunn, very early impact last year for the Heat. Didn't see him down the stretch. I mean, that kind of stuff happens. So I'm gonna say they will make an impact. We actually have a little comment here I wanted to get to. Let's see.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how stuff like that pans out. It might just depend on the player. It might just depend on the guy and how NBA ready he was to begin with. That's something to think about. Certain guys are going to feel that pressure. I mean, maybe a guy like LaMelo, who's played on a professional stage internationally, might feel a little more at home. We're going to have to wait and see.
Here's a question from Michael Chromiak. First of all, thanks for the question, Mike. It says, question, fellas, maybe I'm asking too deeply, but is there a specific draft class that you guys have seen the values of their cards seem to be high or maintain value? For me, I mean, the classes tend to flow with the top guys. You go back to 17, your number one pick, Markelle Fultz, not so hot, but guys like Tatum obviously emerged, came, not really out of nowhere, but Tatum wasn't too highly regarded in the card industry out of the gate. Guys like Bam Adebayo, De'Aaron Fox, Lonzo Ball's actually in that class.
Well, the values on those guys, I don't think those values are too high right now. I think
Tatum's pretty high.
Tatum's up there, but if you look at some other classes maintaining value, I'm looking at, we talked about the 2018 class. I mean, that just seems to grow by the day, just the hype around those names.
Out of that class every day.
And then last year, the percentage increases have actually come over the past 2 years' classes for the most part. I mean, those key cards. But even we're talking in modern card terms. You want to go back and draft classes. I mean, if you bought into cards in 03 and we're pulling LeBrons and stuffed them away, right? Let's talk about that. And so that's a top heavy class. I think there are deep classes and I think there are top heavy classes. I think 2018 it was decently deep, but I think it's more of a quality over quantity type thing. Last year, I think was really quality and quantity. I think you had all throughout the draft class. So not to mention for cards, just for the sake of this discussion, the excitement around the card industry that was coming into play at the same time. Yeah. So those values have gone wild.
The 19 class is probably the one that is high and will probably stay high. You got obviously Zion at the top, Ja, Harrow, who obviously burst onto the scene in the playoffs. Had a very good regular season, but burst onto the scene in the playoffs, which is when it really matters. And his cards have kind of gone wild. We also have Kobe White.
Too.
Incredible stretch last season, which saw him vault into a whole nother category in terms of prices. RJ Barrett, a lot of still speculation on how good he'll be, but his prices are high because of that speculation, people pricing in an effective and solid NBA career. Mm-hmm. All he has to do is actually put up numbers consistently and start winning games, and you'll see Barrett's prices even go higher. So I would definitely say the 19 class is probably the safest to maintain because it's very deep as well.
I think that excitement, it'll always resonate. Yeah. It'll always resonate amongst people. The cards will become iconic, just maybe even because of the place they had in cards, but the class happens to be really deep and high quality too, not just solid players, but some really good potential all-stars. I mean, we didn't even mention a guy like Hero's prices. Look what happened. I mean, that team goes to an NBA Finals, and he was a impact player on that team with a lot of potential. People really liked his style, even his persona added to his value. So created a lot within that market. So thanks for that question, Mike. Really interesting to look at the classes, but
we're a good one here too. I'll take this one from the top.
Yeah, let's do that, and then I think maybe we hop into a little action with the cards here.
We can get to the box. Yeah, we can get to the box. We'll get a pack in or two. But this question here from Howie. Thank you for the compliment there.
Thank you, Howie.
Which rookie in this hoops class is a sleeper investment in your opinion? I mean, so sleepers really, in my opinion, don't come out until after a player is drafted because, like last year, ironically, like one of my guys that I was actually looking to invest in last year was Cam Johnson. He was projected to go late in the first round, which would have meant he would have gone to a contending team for the most part. But then he just jumped up and was taken by the Suns in the lottery. And so like that pretty much eliminated any sleeper value in his cards. Right. So with that being said, I would have to probably place my bet this year on somebody like either I want to say, this is tough because Halliburton. I'm going to go with Tyrese Halliburton. He could pull a similar Cam Johnson move. There's some mock drafts out there that have him in the second part of the first round. Some mock drafts have him just outside the top 10. So it's kind of like depending on where he ends up. But the guy can shoot the 3 ball, which in the modern game you need. Got a good wingspan, can defend. That's my choice on a sleeper. I think if he goes in the latter part of the first round, that's a guy that I'll be targeting cards of 100%. Did you have a sleeper, or did you want me to?
Oh, big time.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have one that I'm back pocketing, but I guess Cat will be out of the bag. If you trust me, great. If it goes wrong, I never said anything. RJ Hampton. I'm looking at this guy. He's 6'5", 190. Body hasn't even filled out. Played professionally overseas in Australia. Is going to go middle of the first round somewhere. Yep. I think he has such an opportunity. He wasn't on the platform of playing college ball here. He didn't get that kind of recognition up front. I'm looking for that guy to grow into his body a bit and really become a problem at that kind of size. I feel like he's a perfect size, perfect fit, has professional play. So young, so much time to develop his game that can only imagine where that goes.
Right
so
there he goes.
Yep, Halliburton's up on the screen. So I mean, there are a few guys, and it should be really interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, RJ Hampton.
And there's RJ Hampton
wow.
on the screen. Just
so
like that. Our guys back to back on the screen.
I don't know if ESPN is tuned in. I guess we made it then.
Yeah, we might have made it.
Yeah, because they're listening to us.
RJ's crying. I don't know what's up with that. But that's kind of wild.
I guess we'll get more word on that. Unless I mean, well, listen, I don't want to. I have no idea what happened there. He's crying on the screen, but we'll find out more. I don't want to comment on that.
Let me
but
pop up another comment here, and then I'll get the box set up. Here's one for you from Toby.
Thank you for that question, by the way. What's up, Toby? What do you think of Taco Fall? What do I think of him? I mean, well, I'm a Celtic fan, so I'll share that with the viewers. So I thought it was a lot of fun to watch. I think it's another interesting scenario. What I was talking about with Hampton, it's a guy who, if he grows into his body, I don't think the guy could grow any more at all in any direction. He's an interesting player to watch. I think if he puts the work in and builds on the physique that he's been gifted, could be a problem. I don't think there's any way to defend a guy like that. So it also has to do with how a team's going to utilize him. So we'll see. We'll see if he gets any minutes and kind of gets that opportunity to start putting things together on the court. So it's an interesting thing to think about. And go Celtics.
Oh, here we go. This is another solid question from Michael.
I have a ton of rookie cards from the 1996 draft class with AI and Kobe. Is that a class that's market has maintained? That's a class that market spiked back at the beginning of this year, actually. Unfortunately, some of that having to do with all the attention to Kobe Bryant and, people wanting to have something to remember him by. The people, kind of clinging to nostalgia of his original rookie card. So depending on what cards you're talking about, the top set is the main set, the top's chrome as well, both sets to look at in terms of in terms of his main key cards and those that have really seen a lot of interest in them, a lot of value. Allen Iverson as well. Allen Iverson kind of trailed behind that. I think people recognized how undervalued Kobe Bryant's market was until finally it got to a point where, hey, who are the other guys in this class? And then I'll even go a step further. You have guys in that class. You have Ray Allen and Steve Nash in the same class. Also, Steve Nash, when he got hired to take that Nets coaching job, saw a price jump as well. So not only have they maintained themselves, but they've spiked up. They've been a huge set to look at a draft class for. So it's a great question. Really a fun one. I mean, I was lucky enough to buy into a lot of those before they saw that spike, and really good class to be bought into. We'll see. After the spike, it kind of settled down. Things settled back down into, I guess, a plateau of sorts, but look to see those creep back up with the rest of the basketball market as well overall.
All right, let's get into this box.
All right, let's party.
Let's get into this box.
So it's the moment that quite a few of you have been waiting for. Shout out to our partner at Quick Rips Breaks. Make sure to check them out. They are the reason we are in here with a box of cards. Didn't have to pay for it. So shout out to Quick Rips. We're very excited to break this for you guys, and good luck to everyone involved. The list of teams in coordination with your names of the guys who are lucky enough to get a spot, guys and gals, whoever's in here. There are the full list of NBA teams alongside your names on the Card Knocks A2D Instagram page. If you're not following that, make sure to go and do so. It's right over there if you see past Brian's head. So make sure to hop on there, check out that page if you want to see the list if you didn't catch your team yet. But aside from that, we should be ready to go. This is what the set looks like. Prism, in general, one of Panini's best products, might be the top product. There is draft picks, not the same as the professional. Nonetheless, the first appearance on branded cards for a lot of these guys in this class. So it's going to be interesting.
So just to give you an idea, we had 31 of you. We opened up 31 spots, free spots for this, which we'll mail out the cards. There are 40 cards in this box, 8 cards per pack, 5 packs, 5 autographs. The 31 spots you ask, all 30 NBA teams, and then the undrafted, any players who end up going undrafted. So you will get all of the cards for your team. We will not be putting into effect any of the trades unless whatever ESPN has later tonight when I go to package up these cards and send them out to you. If anything is official,
don't call us to say, hey, 4 days later, this trade took place with 2 of the draft picks. Nope. It's not his team. It is the team they are drafted by.
Whatever hat he wears tonight.
First, whatever hat he wears first.
Yes, whatever hat goes first. So if the Timberwolves trade the number 1 pick tomorrow officially,
right,
you're getting whoever the Timberwolves will get whoever gets drafted at number 1. So let's get the packs out of here.
Let's do it.
We got 5 of them. Here's 2.
And this has to be a big part of why we love this. I mean, this is
4.
Back to childhood part of the card game. Everybody remembers ripping packs, seeing who you get.
Empty.
Big time potential here. So let's see. Good luck to everybody involved. Thank you again. Make sure to check out Quick Rips for more breaks. We hope you enjoyed this one. And we're going to have a lot more info on that coming to you. But for now, let's see if we can pull some heat. Some of the top guys coming out of the draft. Who knows what you got?
Pick the first one. Pick the first one.
There's a lot of responsibility.
Nah, the cards are the cards. It's just what are we getting to first?
I'm a middle guy. Let's go 3. Pack number 3.
Pack 3 first.
We got all these camera angles
Here we
too.
go.
Love it.
Good luck to everybody involved here. Your job will be to sleeve them up then for this.
All right.
You get the sleeves.
I don't want to hear it about condition. They're going pack to sleeve.
Yeah.
No nonsense. We don't play around.
Pack to sleeve.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Oh, look at this off the front.
Well, oh man.
Look at this.
Only on Card Knocks.
First,
you don't start that hot.
First card. First pack.
Bang.
LaMelo Ball.
Wow.
Card number 1.
Let's get it buzzing.
There it is.
Do I guess I got to top with this one too.
You got to top load that one. Then we got Jamius Ramsey from Texas Tech.
Right into the sleeve.
And the potential number 1 overall pick on a silver.
Oh, nice.
Crusade, Anthony Edwards. And to explain,
for those that do not know,
if you see, let me see LaMelo here.
So LaMelo's a base insert.
So LaMelo, not too shiny. Anthony Edwards, very shiny. This is called a silver.
Right.
So essentially it's supposed to be called a prism, but since Panini likes to make things difficult, but this
all
is shiny.
all different products, but
Silver.
You can never go wrong saying silver.
Silver is rare compared to just base.
Yeah, Mike, we don't mess around with the pulls.
So here goes Anthony Edwards. Here goes, we'll save the autograph for last. So we'll go off the back. Jalen Smith from Maryland. Isaiah Stewart, Washington. We followed it up So if Jamius Ramsey gets drafted tonight, someone's going to get lucky. We'll have 2 cards for them already.
Matches jersey color too.
Yeah, matches the collegiate
Red
jersey.
wave.
This is a nice red wave, ruby wave. Jamius Ramsey from Texas Tech. I'm gonna have to see where he's at in mock drafts.
I'll sleeve up color.
Just leave it up. All right. Last card before the auto is a hyper parallel. If you see the pattern behind the back here, kind of difficult to tell on camera. You can see it now. This is called a hyper. It might be shiny, but that pattern makes it a hyper.
So the first, what you saw with Anthony Edwards was a true silver. I know a lot of you are in here for the break, just trying to educate those that are watching that haven't been involved. We want to help those that haven't been involved get involved and know what they're doing. So this is a true silver, and then that is a hyper. So there is a difference, not too much, but be sure to look out for that if you're ripping any packs.
And our first auto,
Who we got?
is Virginia product, Braxton Key.
Sweet. Is that
Braxton
a
Key.
color auto?
It is a color auto. It is a red
Nice.
auto. It is serial numbered, which I will show you all here. If you can see that.
Yep.
To
Out of
199.
199.
So that means there's only 199 of this card in the world. And that's Braxton Key. So
That's a sweet looking one.
you want to sleeve that one up?
See, and what we're talking about with the draft class, who's to say, any of these pulls, look back on things in 6 months, that might have been a major pull. I mean,
Kendrick Nunn was
it's just guys that it happens all the time, guys that you don't even suspect. And all of a sudden it just breeds itself.
All right.
Want to get another one in?
Yeah, we'll get another one. We got 15 minutes, so we can hopefully finish this up before we get into the actual draft here. Let's see what kind of comments we
And
got.
thank you for joining us for this draft. We're going to be on here for quite a bit at the beginning of the draft to go over everything, react, and
There's a comment about the Trout Super. If you want to touch on that real quick.
okay. Well, yes, the Mike Trout card sold for
3.8.
3.8 million or 3.9.
It was 3. It was up there. It was over 3.5 million.
A stupid amount of money for a piece of cardboard if you don't know what it is, but yes, it was Mike Trout's one of one main rookie card that he has. It's a signed card. It's in a high grade, so really special card, seen as an investment piece. I mean, if you're gonna have a Trout card, that's the one. So you can imagine for a guy like that, the amount of demand around such a piece. It was huge on auction. It was huge speculation, and we'll see where it goes.
All right. Kira
Next
Lewis
pack.
Jr.
And that's a
So,
Pulsar.
it's an orange Pulsar to 49.
That's nice.
Kira Lewis, I believe, is a first-round projected player out of Alabama. Let's see. So Kira Lewis should definitely be someone we find in the first round here. Out of Alabama, had a strong beginning to last season before things got shut down. Rated somewhere in some places in the mid-teens in terms of his ranking for this draft class. Then we got Isaac Okoro, who I know he's up there as well on a Ruby Wave. So this is for Auburn and potentially your team.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I mean, this is incentive for everybody to really watch who's being picked tonight.
Marcus Howard from Marquette. Just his regular base prism collegiate rookie. There's Marcus. Wait, that's wild.
What we got?
Hold on. What card number is that?
80.
Is Marcus Howard?
It is.
He's got 2 cards. Did they do the same thing again this year with the 2 jerseys?
I guess so. So what card number is that?
Well, this is 40.
Yeah, so this must be his
So-
secondary card.
Oh, that's the dark blue jersey. Okay. Well,
Yeah, so we haven't opened too much of this, but last year in 2019, that was something they did. They had a couple of each guy that you can pull. So
home and away jersey usually.
mhm.
So Marcus Howard gets drafted tonight. You've got 2 cards coming your way.
Marcus Howard balled, by the way. I watched him play a couple of his college games, and I want to say he was dropping like 30, 40 points on major teams. He was the guy that carried Marquette to whatever they did accomplish throughout the year.
All right, here's another highly regarded player from the international side, even though he's American. Theo Maledon, or not American, he's from France, but the international side, now he'll be over here, expected to come right over. This is just his base. Oh, here we go. Another expected top 3 pick, James Wiseman on the Crusade rookie card. That logo right up there. It's a rookie logo.
Very nice.
James Wiseman added to the list. So now we've got Edwards, Wiseman, and LaMelo so far. So we know.
At least seeing the names.
Oh, a monster coming up here.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, let me get a peek. Oh no.
Wait, hold on. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Let me tell you something before we get into this one. I picked the box. I did. We have multiple boxes in stock. And your boy right here picked it. So to whoever ends up with this, we do accept tips. Just ask me for my Venmo later.
So we're gonna do the auto first. We're gonna get this card. We're gonna say
it's not the auto, but it's pretty good.
It's so the auto is Yoeli Childs. Honestly, okay, who cares at this point? Yoeli Childs, I respect you. You're gonna be in the NBA, but what we are here for. I'm gonna sleeve this one up myself, just so
I don't even get to touch it. Unbelievable! I picked the box. It doesn't even let me handle the card.
Just to be safe here. Just to be safe.
Bang! Bang!
That is a LaMelo Ball Silver Prism rookie. Honestly, look at the comp on this thing. I want to know what this goes for.
All right, we're looking up current prices. This is right now. I will say this right now until NBA jersey Prism is released or the first professional uniform products come out at the beginning of the year.
Wow. This
is the card aside from the numbered cards to have of LaMelo off the bat, I would say.
100%.
So for until next year, we don't have any cards coming out for the NBA until the schedule starts next year, I don't think, in the new pro jerseys.
Yeah, March.
So for a while you could ride this one. I'm going to go and take a peek
Check this thing out.
at what LaMelo's going for here.
LaMelo, I'm going to guess that this card's got to be upwards of $50. It has to be.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be upwards of $50. Going to be coming to somebody. Somebody lucky already got 2 LaMelos coming their way,
so
including a silver, which, courtesy again, QuickRipsBreaks.com. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have this right here. So
no, sir.
Let's see, this number 3. So yeah, it's the main rookie.
Yeah, as of right now, we're seeing sales going around $50-$60 on average. So
not bad. $50-$60 come up for somebody already.
Not to mention, there's potential there. Things like grading to send a card out and see what you get on something like that. Hopefully,
that's a whole nother story there. But
hopefully, clean out of the pack. It's
oh yeah, that card's fresh, 100%. 100%. She's fresh.
Hey, it looks clean to me.
Let's see. We will. Where is the auto? I'm going to put the auto to the back as usual. Okay, perfect. Put the auto in the back. Come on.
Again, thank you guys so much for hopping in, for supporting us. It's been a lot of fun already here in week 2.
Started yet.
Yeah, and we're already having a good time. We had a great time last week. Thank you for tuning in and joining in the break.
So we got Isaac Okoro again. Another, early projected selection. And we got Killian Hayes, who, once again, another lottery projected pick. He's from, I believe, Germany, which he played over in, actually, I think, the basketball version of the Bundesliga. So that's Killian Hayes. Very young, very young. He's 18 years old. Here we go. One of Florida State's 3. Florida State, I didn't even touch on this before. Florida State has 3 guys who are projected to be top. They're expected to be lottery picks. And this is one of them, Devin Vassell. This is his silver as well. So, I mean, if Vassell goes to a big market, this could be a big card rather quickly. So, and again, until the NBA jerseys come out, but it's something to certainly be excited about. And then here goes my guy right here, the guy that I projected as a sleeper with a Hyper Prism Crusade, Tyrese Halliburton, the Iowa State guard. He had something like 53s or something like that last year, shot like 42, 43%. Kid's got definite upside. What we got here? Ashton Hagans on a blue prism, it looks like. Is that blue? Purple, I can't tell.
That's blue.
Blue. So Kentucky blue for the Kentucky boy,
That's sweet.
Ashton Hagans. That is numbered to 199.
We were talking about that earlier too. There's always somebody out of Kentucky. So
Always.
you never know. There's always somebody in every class out of Kentucky that does a little something.
And then we go right back to the well here again with Killian Hayes on the Crusade. This is an insert, so not a technical true rookie, but still a rookie year card. And then the Dookie, Trey Jones. And our auto from pack number 3 is Josh Green. You know, actually, I was just going to say this is actually a decent autograph for a younger guy. That's a whole nother topic. Let's see. Grab those other couple autographs.
You'll see some autographs. You'll see some treacherous excuses for an autograph coming out of a lot of different products. So good on these guys.
Cam Reddish is the biggest offender, and Rui Hachimura as well. Actually, these guys have done pretty well. I will say these are actually some pretty good autographs so far. They actually seemed like they took some time. They got a little bit of, little something to them. Cam Reddish he just draws a line. So, I mean, pretty much if you want Cam Reddish's autograph, just draw a line on a piece of paper.
I don't know. See, side note example. I don't know how you authenticate that autograph.
Correct.
There are companies that have to do that, and in memorabilia, how do you possibly say that only that person could have create? I don't know. I don't understand it, but there's that auto again.
All right, pack number 4. Let's see. Pack 4. Let's move the auto to the back.
Got slow roll it.
And to the top. Here we go. All right. It's a good one here off the top. Projected number 1 overall pick, Anthony Edwards.
Sweet.
His Georgia rookie. That's solid.
That's the guy right now.
And then the Tar Heel, Cole Anthony. I believe the son of, I don't believe, I know the son of NBA 2K announcer Greg Anthony.
Is it true?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. I actually fired up the old PS5 earlier today, and they were actually talking about his son in the game, which was kind of weird. It's kind of insane. Then we got another silver rookie here. I think this guy's projected late first, and ironically, 1 letter off of having the same name as my dad, but Robert Woodard II from Mississippi State. It's a silver rookie.
Nice.
Actually, I like this product better this year than I did last year. The design's a little bit better.
It's a clean look. I mean, it looks like Prism football.
Well, yeah,
draft,
of course.
but
they keep the same design.
No, they did a nice job.
The cards are in better condition. Last year seemed rushed, and again, they had some time this year.
Right.
Xavier Tillman on the hyper parallel. We saw this hyper parallel before, that little wavy look kind of in the background, whatever you want to call that there. And this is a cracked ice? It is.
Let me see. What we got?
Some purple ice.
Mm-hmm. That's sweet.
He's projected top 10, I believe. Purple ice of Onyeka Okongwu, number to 149. I'll show you that numbering here.
I like the look of that purple ice.
Yeah, the purple ice is very, very, very nice. There it is. So that card is numbered to 149. And that'll be someone in the lottery, 100%. Let's see. Udoka Azubuike from Kansas. It's his rookie. I'm seeing a trend here. We're going back to the well on these Crusades, it seems like, every time. Going back to another guy we just saw, Cole Anthony. So Cole Anthony's got his second card. So
as you guys are seeing, some of these are the inserts, some of these are the base cards, but a lot of different ones to pull out of here depending on who you're looking for.
Right. And our auto for this pack, I have a feeling it's not very highly touted. However, the card is numbered to 99 and is a purple ice again?
Mm-hmm.
To 99 this time, but
sweet auto too.
CJ Ellaby from Washington State. So now, hey, some of these names might not be phenomenal right now, but this undrafted spot, whoever ended up with the undrafted spot, could end up with quite a few cards.
Right.
And I mean,
listen, it wasn't anything in 2018 in Pro Prism to pull Luka's cards out of it.
This is true.
So
that is true.
We're never gonna know for sure.
Right. Not knocking anybody down until they don't make it, and doing nothing.
Plenty of time to
We got 3 minutes till the draft starts, so one pack left.
I don't think we could have timed it any better.
Let's do it. I don't think so either.
There's that purple auto.
So wait, let's just recap real quick. How many of these guys? How many cards we got so far that are clear lottery picks? We got.
I mean, I think I got them here for the most part, aside from the autos.
Oh, Okongwu, definitely a lottery pick. Killian's on the bubble, so is Tyrese. Let's see. So
I think we've done pretty well name-wise for the first box.
Yeah.
Some good color in there as well. I mean, I'll show you guys the main hits here. So
you can recap. Well, let's recap it after. Let's finish this up. Finish this up because we got 2 minutes left. We can recap as the draft goes on.
that'll be perfect time.
It will. We got 2 minutes, 33 seconds. Let's finish this off with a bang. Last pack. The auto will go to the back. Okay. Auto goes to the back.
I'm excited to get this draft going.
I saw someone mention this before. What's going on, Tom? How are you, bro? Let's see. I saw someone mention this guy before. Let me. Champion, no problem on the break, man. Again, it's courtesy of QuickGripsBreaks.com. So thank them. Go over onto their website. Scrolling right at the bottom there. Go check them out.
If you're enjoying watching this, or you want to get involved, or you're wishing you got a spot, or if you got spots and you're having fun, that's where you're going to need to go for all your breaks. So these are going to be coming through the Streamline, this product, all different products. Make sure to check out that website. It's going to help you get involved real quick.
So if Drew Van Dam is correct, this card would end up going to the Heat owner if Maxey does fall.
Interesting.
So I saw that comment earlier. Figured I'd bring it up here. Tyrese Maxey, rookie. The Kentucky basketball alumnus. Wow. Here we go again. Anthony Edwards is hot.
Nice.
Edwards again.
So that's big for potentially whoever has the Timberwolves.
Whoever has the Timberwolves could be looking at. That's 3 cards coming their way right now. That's
if all things go as planned. But
okay.
I picked a box. Listen, when I tell you I picked a box, the Venmo is just my name. It's my full name.
Oh shit!
Oh
right.
No!
Well,
Oh
we definitely
man!
saved the best for last here.
Oh.
So let's get into here.
Man!
We're gonna pop those down there.
That's sweet. I mean, look, nothing popping out of here is going to be a $20,000 card or anything, but there's some nicer ones that, hey, I mean,
yeah,
for ripping this product, this has been a nice box. I promise you.
So Tyler Bay, red parallel to 299. Here's Tyler Bay. And then here goes your sleeper, RJ Hampton.
I like him.
One of the sleepers, looking like wearing a Carolina jersey, even though he's not. Josh Green.
Oh, he's an overseas guy.
No, yeah.
Played overseas anyway.
Yes. Josh Green from Arizona.
This is a hot pack. I promise you this is a hot pack. Who we got on the auto?
The auto is Jaden McDaniels, who I believe is related to the Jalen McDaniels that was drafted last year. I believe it's his brother. Looks just like him. Jaden McDaniels is the auto. We still have 2 cards remaining.
I don't know what you go with first. I gotta think
Let me get some sleeves over here.
I gotta think the one closest to me you go with first.
Yeah. The one closest to you for sure.
We're gonna need another couple top loaders.
Let's see. We got a big
I might
question
top
down here, which we'll get to.
I'll tap somebody out of
Oh,
it.
there we go. So we got a question from Baron von Hoff. Good evening, fellas. Coming through on NBA draft night, what brand of cards would you recommend for getting back into collecting cards again? I've been out of the game for many years. I know you guys have the knowledge to direct me in the right direction. Thanks, guys, for doing what you do.
Here, I'll hop on this one. What's up, Baron? So thanks for the question. Looking at different brands, it really depends on the sport that you want to get into. Panini has a whole set of products for basketball. Prism, as we've discussed, is the main one. I'd wait on the pro uniforms or go to prior years for the pro uniforms. And then you like how we're slow rolling this? People are sitting on the edge of their seats right now. No, I'm just talking about how great it is. Continue. But anyway, so Baron, I think you want to look at Prism. Products like Optic. These are some of the main sets in basketball that people really latch onto. If you're looking at baseball, Topps Chrome, Bowman Chrome, those are our main sets. Football is also Prism. So Prism is the main player for basketball and football. And then if you're getting into baseball, you're looking more at Bowman Chrome, Topps Chrome. Those are some of the different sets that'll give you an opportunity to hop back in. They're tougher to find. They're expensive online. But honestly, starting off, first thing I tell anyone, even outside of this question, do your research and get educated first.
Correct.
Don't go hopping in because really this is a gamble unless you have Quick Rips Breaks as your sponsor, which is phenomenal, but not everybody is as lucky as we are sometimes. So it's a gamble. So don't go breaking product. Do some research if you are going to do that, and then maybe even consider just going and buying the guys you're looking for.
And stay within yourself too. Don't get caught up in the overpricing, I guess you could say. There's a lot of things and a lot of guys out there who will rip products or buy products that are outside of their financial means. Stay within your financial means. It's extremely important in this industry. Stay within what you can do. If you have any more specific questions, feel free to hit me up on Instagram at Redbeard Sports Cards, or just even hit up the Card Knocks A2D account, and we'll certainly get you more
chop liver
questions.
over here. Jeez, I don't get any love.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Hit up King of the Cards.
Hit up
whatever.
me.
They're all over
Now hit up me first because
Ask
I didn't
any
get
questions.
brought up. Unbelievable.
So before Adam Silver gets going over here, we'll start with this one.
Bang!
Another monster silver.
One of the
James
top
Wiseman,
guys.
Another top 3 pick. His silver rookie.
Thank you for that question, Baron, by the way. James Wiseman, the guy who I think might be the guy out of this class.
So there's a Wiseman silver. And to finish it off with a little bit of another bang, we saw this card early on, very early on.
As early as you can.
Yeah, maybe. This is a Ruby Wave parallel.
Dang.
LaMelo Ball. Look at that red to go with that flag in the background.
That is sweet.
LaMelo Ball, Ruby Wave, Global Prospects.
That's a hell of a pack to end on.
We pretty much started with LaMelo and ended with LaMelo. Does the draft start with LaMelo? I guess we'll find out.
Well, we're going to find out right now. Should we pop in some?
You could pop on a little bit of sound. Just keep it low, obviously. Do we want to do a recap here?
Yeah, so we definitely got time. Adam Silver took the stage. So we're going to have the Timberwolves on the clock in just a minute or two here, I would presume, and then start getting to some of these picks. And now that you're familiar with some of these names, we'll find out exactly what we're looking at. maybe even see some card values go up
During
right
the-
here. Yeah, just in our hands.
We got Don 19 said we need LaMelo. I think you got some Melo in this thing right here.
Yeah, I mean, for an average box, it does not have to go that well. Let me tell you. So if you're going to go buy it and think you're going to pull everybody you're looking for, it's just us. Just the heat that Quick Rips is bringing to us.
That's what these hands do right here.
Yeah.
These hands pull heat.
The combination of Redbeard and Quick Rips product, and it's just whatever you're looking for. Comes right up.
So that's the Melos. We had 3 Melos. What about Anthony Edwards? Let's see. I know we had a few Edwards.
I actually have one here.
I think you have 2. I took a little top loader there. But there should be the other one here too.
I think I
So
loaded both of them.
no, there we go.
No, I didn't.
So we got 3 Anthony Edwards.
Sweet.
So we got 2 of the top 3 picks have 3 cards coming their way. And let's check out Wiseman. I know we definitely had this Wiseman, that Wiseman. Is that it on Wiseman? Just 2?
Mhm.
All right.
I mean, one of them a true silver.
Oh yeah, true silver. You can't go wrong there. So we got two James Wiseman, and then everything else seems to be pretty spread out. Across guys. A few guys had multiple cards, but we'll see what happens. Let's see. Try to catch up on some comments here. Baseball question. We'll take one more baseball question before this gets on the road here.
But they are on the clock. We are in the NBA draft. I'm excited for this. I've been waiting for this for a while. Some fresh blood into the card game, into the NBA.
Joe said, baseball question. I know Redbeard likes Soto. That's correct. I absolutely love Juan Soto. How bad did he get robbed with not even getting voted top 3 for MVP? Completely robbed. I mean,
ask somebody, ask somebody with a little less bias.
Justify it.
Okay, he got completely robbed. But it means more coming from me than somebody who has every card he has stocked up and has been following him. So I just wanted to, put the emphasis on the fact that you are right.
I mean, some of those numbers have never been done, especially by a kid.
Juan Soto is on a trajectory, I don't want to get in trouble for saying it, but in terms of overall game and contributions to as an all-around player, Trout-esque in terms of his all-around abilities.
Oh, LeVar, let's go. First LeVar sighting. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, he went from being on every page everywhere to I wasn't sure if he was still around.
Yeah. Let's just hope he does. LaMelo doesn't end up in New York because yikes. But
he's been quiet. He's settled down.
He's calmed down a little bit.
Hope you guys enjoyed that break. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
might have to do that again. Products will be coming out. We'll be sure to share things like that with you. And if you just can't wait, Quick Rips Breaks is going to be your chance to hop in and get to the products whenever you want to. So a lot of breaks coming that way.
There's tons of product listed up there. Anything you go over there and buy, single box wise, will be ripped live for you probably on my Instagram. And then we also have group breaks that'll start to go up. I think we have a WNBA break actually up now. The WNBA Prism product has come out and has been red hot. Sabrina Ionescu, her cards are off the charts right now. Plus a lot of the legends, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi.
Don't sleep on the ladies out there that can ball.
Higgins. I'll tell you, I saw honestly a lot of the WNBA stuff in Dallas, and that stuff was moving. I saw guys sitting there ripping cases of it. So very hot product. There's a group break up of that now. It's a random team for 2 boxes, $60. You get a random team. So I mean, and pretty much every box does end up having about a whole complete base set in it. So
right.
I mean, you're going to get cards. Every team will get cards. There's 2 autos per box. So it's definitely something to go, head over there and look at now and keep an eye on in the next couple of days. I'll be promoting some more of the breaks that'll be up there, and hopefully, start ripping a bunch of product. With that said, Timberwolves have a whopping 15 seconds here left on the clock. So I'm sure we'll see Adam Silver here for number 1. And
good just to have basketball back already.
It is. It's
any capacity.
Wild. It's very wild to have this so quick. Oh, Investicar.
What's up, guys?
Good old Eddie.
Thanks for tuning in.
Good to see you, Eddie. It was nice to see you out in Dallas. Where's Silver at? The clock expired. Come on, man. Let's see. All right. So I mean, honestly, I expect
Pick should
this.
be him.
I expect this to be Anthony Edwards. Everything all day was saying that, but you never know. I mean, that is my guess. They don't really have a true two.
Well, here's the question then: who do you see at 2?
I think the Warriors would then go Wiseman for sure. I mean, that just changes the game for them.
So does that mean
to have a center.
LaMelo to Charlotte?
Michael Jordan and LeVar Ball sitting next to each other courtside.
Oh, please, I don't even
That's
want
a
to
show.
imagine something
that's a
like
show.
that.
I mean, if you want a show, how about LeVar sitting next to Jordan?
I mean, that's not the market. LeVar sitting there hoping he goes to New York.
Here comes Adam right now.
The first pick.
Here comes Adam. But yeah, you don't. I mean, I could see Jordan just telling LeVar to stay out of the arena personally.
Anthony Edwards.
There it is.
Your number 1 pick in the 2020 NBA draft. Anthony Edwards is going to the Timberwolves. Let's talk about that team for a second. Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell. I mean, Anthony Edwards is going to get tossed into that mix. You got young guys who can contribute, and there you go, right out of the box.
Who's getting these?
Your number 1 pick, it is Jason Goodis. Jason Goodis.
You will get these Anthony Edwards Prism rookie cards. You got both versions of the base card, number 1 and number 41.
Cleaned up.
And then also the Crusade Silver will be on its way to you sometime later tonight, tomorrow. They will get out in the mail. So congrats to you.
So that's our first one in. But just in terms of the team, they're all of a sudden a really well-rounded team.
Yeah.
D'Angelo at the top, Cat down low. Now, depending on his development, you bring in Edwards into the mix. They have some pieces on that team around them as well. They have potential to make some noise.
I think Cat is one of the most underrated guys in the league. He's statistically always in the top 5 of every category. Maybe not assists, but I mean, shooting for a big man, he shoots 40%. Rebound rate extremely high. Could be higher, but I think you're going to see a different level. With unfortunately the tragedy that happened around Cat, I think you'll see him take it to another level. And I expect D'Angelo Russell to do the same thing. Actually, adding a piece like Edwards really, gives them a very solid core. I'm not sitting here telling you that they're going to be, top 5 in the West. Right. No. But that team
too deep of a conference.
That team should definitely be a playoff team now, depending on what they do on the rest of the roster, of course. But I mean, Russell and Towns, they have a lot of history together. So that right there, I think should take them, back to the playoffs, and should be a very, very good season in Minnesota. And I'm excited to see what they do, to finish that roster out.
Let's see. I mean, could depend a lot on Edwards' impact.
Yeah, I mean,
on that team, because that might be the difference right there from being an okay outside the bubble team, on the bubble of the playoffs, to hey, they're in there and they're going to be a problem for a top seed.
Yeah, and I mean, and then now we got Golden State, who, I mean, interestingly enough, with all their injuries, went from first to worst essentially. So I mean, this ought to be an interesting pick. I don't see there's any way in the world they take LaMelo. There's no reason. Wow. So Jay Billis is the highest I've seen anybody on Halliburton. Did you just see that?
What did he have?
He had Halliburton at 3, like best available. So I guess
so 4 overall.
Everywhere else, he's mid to
nowhere
late
near
teens,
there.
early 20s. So Billis is extremely high on Halliburton as well. Let's see. She's over.
I'm really interested to see this pick. I feel like it has to be Wiseman.
I got a comment on this one. Embiid for Harden straight up. That might be the biggest.
No.
I don't know. That's not smart.
No.
Don't do that. Not smart.
Don't do that.
Nobody in there.
Don't quit your job to become a G. No, yeah, I'm just kidding, Jay. Thank you for commenting. But
No chance.
That's not happening.
I understand the frustration in Philadelphia,
But that's not going to fix
it. I get it, but that is not fixing it. You want frustration. That's frustration in its own right. Harden's just a volume shooter. He's just going to go out there. He's going to put up, 35 shots a game. And, if he has, an off night, you're going to lose. That's not what you want.
Joel does a lot all around the court.
Yeah.
All around the ball. You can't. No, it doesn't work on that one.
Yeah. Anthony, I think that ends up being a good pick for the Wolves. I mean, I think it's their best spot. LaMelo would have clashed too much, essentially, with Russell's play style. Edwards has a chance to complement both of those guys very nicely. So I think you're absolutely right. It's definitely a good pick.
Kid's an athlete.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
100%.
They were just showing some highlights. I mean, kid's got bounce. Kid is going to be all over the floor. And I think he perfectly complements the middle between Russell and Cat, who are the key pieces. I think that's the guy who ends up with his ball in his hands and is able to drive to the hoop and kind of spread the floor for them.
Yeah, so for sure. It should definitely open things up a little bit. And the Warriors pick is in, so we'll see what they do. But I do think that Edwards ends up being a solid pick for Minnesota. With that said, I don't see really anybody here but Wiseman for the Warriors. LaMelo would just clash too much with the whole Curry and Thompson. Now, granted, I know Thompson got hurt. We'll see what happens with that. But
barring that,
just barring that, LaMelo would be too much of a clash for the Warriors. Wiseman fills a realistic hole at the 5, and honestly makes the Warriors. I think if Thompson's healthy and they draft Wiseman here, I think that vaults them back into a top 3 team in the West. I mean, Pascal, Draymond, Wiseman, Curry, Thompson. I mean,
Wiseman's the perfect.
They'll have plenty of cap room to bring in any other vets that they want to bring in, and I mean,
anytime you just have Clay,
Andrew Wiggins.
Anytime you have Clay and Steph on the court at the same time, you're a contender. It doesn't really matter everything that comes out
about Wiggins.
Timberwolves. We'll see how he contributes with that entire team there, but you'd have to anticipate him playing some role, maybe get some touches when all the attention is on those key 2 guys when they're healthy. And then who knows about Wiseman, how they utilize him. But you already know they're going to be deep. You already know they're going to approach this as a contender. They're going to try to make signings right off the jump to really fill out this roster. So
Anthony Yades also says, I think Melo will slip. I mean, it's not something we haven't seen before with players slipping in drafts. I mean,
it makes you wonder, but at the same time, I don't know that there's enough value there after LaMelo to justify it, even if they're uncertain about him.
I mean, Denny and Obi. I mean, there's guys I think that could definitely surpass him, but let's see, where is what? Let's get Wiseman ready because that's my guess for this pick is definitely Wiseman.
I think it's got to be.
So let's get these cards ready for who's got the Warriors.
Here, interesting discussion on prices.
Sure.
In terms of these values as we sit here.
Yeah.
And I have my opinion ready on this. Do you think Edwards, and now if it is Wiseman,
right,
do you think Wiseman's prices see more of a value increase for going to what's going to be a contender than Edwards just in a principal pick? Because personally,
100%.
I think Wiseman is going to benefit from this. No, he's not the number 1 pick. Yeah, Edwards is, but that team isn't going to make the kind of noise that the Warriors already were going to. And to know that guy is going to slide into this role in Wiseman and probably be able to contribute in some magnitude, I would think Wiseman is the guy.
To the Warriors, no less. I mean, if I had to pick between Wiseman and Edwards hobby-wise, if Wiseman goes right here, yes, it's 100% Wiseman over Edwards hobby-wise, yes. Just simply because.
There it goes.
There it is.
So James Wiseman with the number 2 pick pulled a true silver out of that box. So we will see how that goes. But you have to think Wiseman is the one to look at in terms of his values off the bat.
Let's see what Wiseman's about. See what Wiseman's sold for now, and then let's see by the end of the show in about 35 minutes or so. We'll see how much they've gone up just from pre-draft to draft selection.
I mean, it could be anyone from speculators to investors to
But-
Warriors fans.
Correct.
But
that's
big,
what the
way
market's all about.
bigger fan base.
Correct.
So just to relate this to the card segment and an investment standpoint, this is a way bigger play as of this second.
Just be interesting to see how much they go up just in.
Which
It's the regular true silver.
so they're going at about, because there's the two variations
42.
of it. So it's going roughly at $30 is what I'm seeing.
Okay, so roughly $30. So we'll see. We'll check on it again.
30 to 40, maybe
That's
35.
fine. I'm gonna leave it right here on the screen so we remember to check, see how that market moves.
On average, $30. But
That's fine.
that, again, this isn't going to be the product, but the
Correct.
product isn't released for a while. So people are anxious to get involved in this and start investing and having some stake in the game. In terms of these guys, that's probably where they're going to look.
They have this, and they have contenders draft picks is the only cards right now for these guys. So with that being said, for the next roughly 2 months, with the NBA starting, right before Christmas, these cards are really going to be the only ones for these players. So they will be very highly traded on the market between now and the release of the NBA products in early March. Early March, I think late February actually is the beginning of the NBA release. I think Hoops comes out first, which I think is the end of February. So first pro jerseys not till the end of February. So we're talking almost 3.5 months.
What I would say is don't go running and grabbing all these cards of these guys necessarily unless you plan to turn them over quickly, because here's this note just on the product itself. In terms of the market, what you'll see is the college products that came out prior, the draft product, and then all of a sudden you get the pro jersey product out. That becomes their key card and actually kills off a lot of the action around the draft product. So if you're planning to buy these and hold them because you think one day this guy is going to be something, this isn't the set to do
It's
it
not
with.
an investment set.
Exactly. But if you want to hold, the first card appearing, showing the appearance of that guy and you feel it's going to be something, don't get me wrong, there could be some value, but probably going to stave off once those products release at the beginning of next year, spring of 2021. So not a long-term hold. If you want to flip them over right now and get in on that action and see how they contribute early on in the season.
I think they're good holds and then flips once the season starts.
There's no alternative right now.
That's
If you
what
want
I'm
these guys, this is it. So this is their trade. This is their stake to buy into. So in that sense, cool, but don't expect to ride it into future seasons for the most part.
Yeah, I think they're good buys now until the season starts. I think around Christmas time too, people have money to spend. So certain things like this, will get attention. Cards will be bought and sold of the fresh NBA season. Guys putting up, their first, games and results. So, if Wiseman goes out there, drops a 20-point, double-double in his first game, does something exciting, you better believe these cards will go up, and then you just sell them. So it's kind of just understanding the market. These are not investment pieces. These are, I guess, if we want to relate it to like chess, these are just pawns in the game. You want to buy these up, wait for that hot moment, flip them, make your money, wait for the NBA logo stuff to come out, and then you can start investing in certain cards at that point.
Right.
What does MJ do at 3?
This is going to be really interesting. I was just going to stop to talk about this pick. LaMelo has to be seen as the value, but maybe
I think Jordan goes topping. I think he goes topping. Polished player, ready to play.
I like it. I just don't know if the value with a third pick is there for Toppin.
Yeah, I guess we will find out. But I don't see Jordan wanting to put up with the whole ball thing. And
I think Toppin's NBA ready though.
Yeah, no, he's
clearly contributed.
Here we go.
At a high level.
I guess we'll find out in about 8 seconds.
LaMelo.
Wow.
So he does stick with LaMelo there. Like I was saying, I just think
Who's got the Hornets?
too much value to pass up. And look at LeVar. LeVar is sitting there with his arms crossed.
Chilling out.
I mean,
maybe he's humbled. Maybe all that other stuff humbled him, and he's going to calm down a little bit. Check out who's got the Hornets. Who's getting these, by the way?
I could check that right now. But at the same time, I don't. I mean, I think LeVar's sitting there praying that he falls to the Bulls.
Yeah.
That he saw that could happen. He can end up in a maybe more popular market, bigger city, and
Yeah, LeVar definitely sat there. That might have been a look of disappointment. You might be right there, Anthony. That might have definitely been a look of disappointment. But I don't know how you get disappointed when you go to a franchise run by Michael Jordan.
so the Charlotte Hornets fall to Ross. Ross, and you're gonna grab those LaMelo. So pretty sweet to hop in there. So good job on those guys for hopping in. Thank you again. Those are probably the best cards that there were in terms of value right now and popularity. You have to remember brand and recognition plays into this as well. And LaMelo is his own brand, the big baller brand.
Going to the Jordan brand too. So should be very interesting to see what happens there.
Right.
Congrats again on those. That's LaMelo Ball now. So we've got LaMelo, Wiseman, and Edwards so far. No real surprises. This is where it kind of opens up. And it's like
this will be just a free-for-all. You can't really predict anything here. But in terms of LaMelo's game, he's played professional ball. I mean, he is filling in into his frame right now. And he's experienced that level of pressure. He's experienced that stage. He didn't play college ball, and I think that's why people forget or maybe just have never had the opportunity to realize how much he can contribute. His shooting ability, I mean, it reminds you the way he pulls up of like a Trey or Steph type of game from the outside.
He doesn't care.
And then has a handle ability. They're showing these highlights here to dish off. He's a playmaker as well. So can pull back on you, and if you step in, reach, and he does the job. Goes right by you. So will be interesting to see the translation to the NBA. But top 3 picks, not necessarily any surprises. We couldn't be certain and fix them in there, but seems that everything's landing according to plan for the most part.
That's wild.
Insane. So LeVar Ball played his football in Carolina.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. That's absolutely wild. This is the picks in already for the Bulls, so this ought to
Well,
there's no way they go to the point guard. They got Kobe White.
There was going to be some kind of Jordan involvement, so he goes to Jordan's team, or he could have gone to the team Jordan played for. But
right, I don't see them going point guard. I don't see Halliburton here. I don't see any of the point guards really. They're not gonna go ahead and take someone over Kobe White, who they just drafted last year. They got Levine. Who knows? He could get moved, actually.
Right.
So it's very open here, I think, actually. Very wide open, but I could see Vija going here. I mean, Laurie Markkanen's more of a 4. This is actually very interesting. This is a wide open pick.
It is. You think Obi may be here?
No.
I like a little more value there for potentially seeing Obi. But at the same time, going back to this last pick, imagine a player meeting going into the draft, and you have LaMelo Ball, LeVar Ball sitting across the table from Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd like to be a fly on the wall there.
Right. There's no way. There's no way that LeVar was allowed to be involved in those talks. I don't think. Let's see who the Bills. Let's see who the Bulls take. Too much football.
Yeah, lots of football.
Patrick
Williams.
Williams.
This is where it's wide open. One of the Florida State boys.
We didn't
even hit it.
Yeah, I mean,
the only Florida State guy we hit was Robert Woodard.
So the ACC 6th Man of the Year goes number 4 to the Chicago Bulls. We'll see how that pans out. Probably going to fill a solid role for that up and coming team. Love Billy Donovan as a coach of a solid young team with some pieces. So we'll see what he does with him. He must see something within this kid that looks ready for impact in the NBA.
A little bit of a surprise. I definitely, knew he was, in the lottery, probably back end of the lottery, but I did not see that at 4. That was definitely a little bit of a surprise. Wow. That just threw me for a complete loop.
Well, we'll see. I'm very interested to see where Obi lands.
Yeah.
I really think that he is a guy that's going to show up instantly and really have himself an NBA career. I think his game is going to translate. Cleveland, they're saying Halliburton now with Jay Billis is best available, but
the Williams selection is just, I feel like, such a reach. Holy crap. Like, I'm literally stunned by that. I feel like
they must see something within him that they really liked over.
I mean, he was off the bench at Florida State. I know that. He only played like 20-something minutes a game there, lower 20s. And, I mean, I don't know. I get it. It's a raw talent, raw athletic kid, but yikes.
How old is he? I think this is
he's 19. I know he's 19.
It's a pure anticipation pick. Kid's going to grow into a monster. And
hey, there goes Tarazi. We were just talking about WNBA.
Right.
Diana. LeVar was disappointed about making the comments about Jordan years ago when Lonzo got drafted. So Melo goes to play for Jordan. That's kind of funny, actually. That's a good point, Anthony. It's funny.
Funny how the world works, huh?
Yeah, that's a little bit of karma, kind of, I guess you could say. But I don't know, man. If anyone's going to turn Melo into that killer, that that superstar potential, I mean, I wouldn't want to be with anyone other than Jordan. I mean, who else? Who better? I mean, really.
We'll see what he does with them. It's going to be interesting. I like his talent. I hope that none of the off the court stuff really impacts the chance he's going to have with that team.
Yeah, I don't think it will. But what I will say is, I mean, market wise, if we dive into the Hornets for a second, I think adding Melo to that team will definitely pull. It's so weird saying Melo. When I say Melo, I think of Carmelo. But I think adding LaMelo to that team will definitely bring a little bit more light, I guess you could say, a little more exposure to that franchise. I mean,
the same way Zion goes to New Orleans for the Pelicans that didn't have a fan base for the most part up until him showing up there. I think it's the same kind of thing. You bring some energy into that. It's kind of, and it's his team right off the bat, which it's not the worst. It's not the worst situation for these guys to be into. I mean, you saw what effect the Pelicans were not getting any national television games until you have Zion slide in, and now look at what happened. It took over the whole year. Well, LaMelo gets viewers. He gets eyes, and that's what's going to happen when he goes to Charlotte. It didn't matter what team he ended up, but hey, a team that could use him.
And you know he'll be nationally televised a lot more than he'll have the Hornets on national TV, which doesn't necessarily happen ever, or at least in the last few years. Not since, well, actually, I can't even remember when the Hornets have been that relevant.
I don't think he'll impact that team to a point of them starting to win.
No, I don't think so either.
But
just exposure.
I think I compared him to this guy earlier, but also in the team placement sense, I think he impacts the Hornets the same way that Trey has impacted the Hawks.
Yeah, okay.
A guy who can average 25 points a game, take a ton of shots, be a lot of fun to watch. But right now, the team overall doesn't have it put together, and they're probably going to have a rough win total.
Well, then he should electrify the card market. Then his cards. I mean, realistically, then should be. I mean, at this point, I think LaMelo, even going to Charlotte, he will be the most expensive Prism card. When his cards come out, I'm thinking LaMelo is no doubt the most expensive.
I think it's a popularity contest at that point would be the reason if that's the case.
Correct, and I think that's what it is. I think had he gone, somewhere to if he had gone, I mean, one overall, obviously being number one overall would have drove his market. But if he had slipped and whatnot and gone to a lesser franchise, maybe I think the Jordan connection really helps too. Honestly, I think being connected to Jordan alone will jump
in
his
any
market.
way.
Yeah, just I think that jumps his market even more. His popularity will go up even more. I can almost guarantee you he will sign with the Jordan brand.
Well, here you go in terms of Jordan connection. Here's a question. More impact with Charlotte being connected to Jordan, or if he would have fallen to Chicago?
I think the being in Charlotte more of an impact, 100%.
I feel like with Chicago, a major city, and in terms of NBA teams,
Kobe White being there, it would have. I feel like those two would have like clashed essentially for playing time, and I think it would have hurt both of their prices. And I think for the market sense, going to Charlotte was the best thing that could happen for the hobby. Now for his career, who knows? I mean, Charlotte, they had a stud point guard in Kemba Walker. Didn't really get him anywhere. Didn't put the team around them. They have obviously PJ Washington now, who's more of like a tween between a 3, 4, 5 kind of guy.
But in the same way, I mean, do you think Kobe could have translated? I don't think Kobe could have made it as a 2.
No
chance.
So
it really would have been them combating each other unless they forced that in a backcourt with both of them.
Right.
Probably not ideal. It makes you wonder.
Melo can shoot the ball.
Yeah, that's
100%. He can pull up from anywhere.
Right.
Okay, let me take this step back. Is he Steph Curry? No. Will he pull up from anywhere without fear? Yes.
We didn't know Steph Curry was Steph Curry, and
this is true.
Until he
is
started
he
doing it.
Steph Curry? No. Is he Davidson Steph Curry? Yes.
He was a guy that can shoot, and we'll see how well he does it.
They went Okoro. We got on Okoro. We got nice Okoro, I believe. So Cleveland.
Keeping it within that top 5.
Okoro. I know we had. Well, there's one Okoro. Here you go. I'll show that off. We got one.
Just finishing up what we were talking about, I'm starting to think that if LaMelo didn't go at 3,
we did.
If he didn't go at 3,
nice Cavs team color.
Then, yep, here you go. So that pick there for the Cavs, Okoro with a nice red wave, top 5 pick, Ruby wave. If LaMelo didn't go to Charlotte, I think he could have fallen out of the top 5.
I mean,
I don't think he would have gone to Cleveland.
Judging by what we've seen, yeah. No, he wouldn't have gone to Cleveland.
So then all of a sudden you're on.
Sexton there.
And then you're talking about Atlanta, and he wouldn't have gone to Atlanta either.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
in terms of the position.
No, yeah.
So
sure.
That
he would have not gone to Atlanta.
And he wasn't going to go to Golden State. So really, right now it was, if he didn't go to Charlotte, I think that's where the speculation comes in potentially about the Knicks.
Well, I mean, Detroit's after Atlanta, so.
Do you think he would have gone to Detroit?
Who's Detroit got? Exactly.
Well, I
no disrespect to Detroit out there, any Pistons fans who may be watching, since there's lots of those out there. But Okoro looks like Joanna, man. that's kind of wild. That's really funny, actually. So we got Okoro to Cleveland. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Cleveland always drafts these, like last year with Garland, like I feel like they draft the non-sexy but very solid selections. They take the guys who are established in college. They've put up numbers. And I don't see, if you're Cleveland there. I mean, I guess other than the age factor, how you go Okoro over Obi Toppin.
That's what I'm getting at. I would have thought.
I almost think like Atlanta can take anybody, really. I mean, they have a starting.
You got to take Obi now with the value that's there at 6.
I mean, if you put him on that team, I mean, with Reddish and Hunter and Young and Collins, and I mean,
it's got to be Obi here.
I mean, that just adds another really dynamic player to that team, and honestly, that might push Atlanta, up in the East big time. You add someone like Toppin. I mean, I think once again, he is my pick to be the most NBA ready player and a guy that's going to come in and really contribute. I mean, I look at, if Toppin goes here, I can see how he could contribute kind of like Brandon Clark did to the Grizzlies last year.
I think that's a little light. I got to think that Toppin has more of an impact because he'll get more touches than a guy like Brandon Clark did.
It could be light, but the Hawks are deep with young talent, so I mean he'd have to surpass.
Well, you slide him in, and you got all the eyes on Trey and all the touches going to Trey, and then you bring in Toppin. Reddish, okay, not that kind of offensive ability to take over that many touches, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking Toppin here.
Halliburton's
still up on the board.
Like I said, I mean, Billis seemed to be pretty high on him. I had seen him later.
In terms of fit, though, I think that Obi, in terms of his position, in terms of being NBA ready, I don't see how you pass him up at 6. So,
yeah, it's very interesting to see him still be on the board. I mean, to be on the board at 6, I mean, this is where, I mean, if I'm honest, I mean, this is just my true fanhood coming out. This is where, I wish the Sixers had the assets. I mean, this is a guy in top. I mean, if you can move Tobias Harris's contract, get him off the board, get him out of there.
Right.
I mean, Toppin's a guy that slides right in and he's probably better than Tobias Harris. He will probably be better than Tobias Harris right away if given the opportunity. And, I mean, I don't know. That's shocking to me. Anthony thinks that the Hawks might trade the pick. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't think we're going to find anything out right away, but it's definitely something that could happen.
They better get something really, really attractive in that if they're going to trade out of an opportunity to grab Toppin here, because I think Toppin justifiably could have been a top 5 pick.
Aha, Toppin. I see what you did. But no, I really can't believe he's still there. I mean, all whatever you want to call it, off season that we've had, or
all 3 weeks
modified off season, all summer long, all you heard was Obi Toppin, and I mean, the guy was phenomenal at Dayton. So, I mean, Larry Nance Jr. with the tweet about Okoro telling him to get ready to play some defense. I mean, okay. I mean, I guess if that's what you want. I mean, obviously, the Cavs don't exactly strike me as a team that's putting the ball in the hoop. So
Cavs got a lot to figure out. I feel like they're in between accepting rebuilding and still competing partially.
Yeah.
I don't think they've chosen a direction. I feel like they're in between. They have some pieces, but they're not really going after it. But at the same time, instead of building up assets to go and rebuild, they keep kind of half and half. So
yeah, unlike the Thunder, who have gone all in on a rebuild.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah.
The quicker you accept it and follow through with a plan, is the quicker it's going to happen. The Thunder are stacking up on picks for years to come. So
I think we're going to end up getting through the Knicks pick right before we have to hop off air here. So
very fitting.
It'll be perfect. We'll be able to end
a last place team for a last segment.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we reserve the Knicks for. Okongwu. Wow. Okay. Obi keeps dropping. Obi to the Knicks.
I like it.
Obi to the Knicks.
I mean, good for him if he gets to play in front of the world like that, in a market like that. Power forward position. He would start.
I mean, he would 100% start. I know we had an Okongwu one here. Definitely. There we go. It was the purple ice. Look at this.
So with the number 6 pick to Atlanta, pulled a nice one of them.
So who had Atlanta? Let's check this out. Atlanta.
That one's numbered to 149. See if we can get that in focus there. So pretty cool one. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen here. If you're speculating and you're just assuming it's just the top few picks are going to see any value, hey, this guy could come right off the rip and contribute and put up numbers. So you don't really know right now. Be excited to get involved with these guys. Start seeing the names. Detroit next.
A lot of comparisons for Okongwu to Bam Adebayo, and if the Hawks just added a guy like Adebayo to their roster,
right.
that honestly is a very large improvement for them, 100%. The Rockets got a future first, I think it just said, as part of that Ariza deal. So I guess that was just to clear some cap.
A lot of first picks going just to clear up some cap room. I would feel like these are valuable assets to just be utilizing to clear up cap room. In that case, you would have to think that Houston's about to make a move.
Could be. I mean, they have two guys that they're looking to do. So
right.
Looking to deal. I mean,
just kind of clearing the path.
I mean, I guess because Capella Capella's still in Atlanta, right? I believe. So that I think is that where Capella is? Capella's in Atlanta.
Now he's with,
Yeah, Capella's in Atlanta.
unless he went anywhere else.
No, I don't think so. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess with Capella,
They're starting to fill out a lineup there.
being the 5 there, I mean, I guess that allows the Hawks to go a little smaller. With
What about
Okongwu.
DeAndre Hunter?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, Hunter's a part of that team, but I think adding a guy like Okongwu will allow them to do the new age small ball like you saw the Heat do with Bam at center. I mean, and that's part of what I was getting at before with PJ Washington with Charlotte. PJ Washington being all of 6'7", maybe 6'8" if he's lucky. There's a lot of talk about him playing the 5, and a lot of teams going to the small ball thing, and guys like Capella getting phased out. The bigger guys in the league. So, I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I think with that in mind, I think Okongwu may end up actually being a decent pick here for the Hawks. It gives them some flexibility whether they want to run with Capella, who, I mean, don't get me wrong, very imposing figure down low, definitely swat some shots, but I think adding a Okongwu definitely makes them a little more flexible. And we got Detroit in. We got a few more minutes here, so
we'll go through the next pick.
We're gonna get through the next pick, so that's exciting for you. I'll be excited to see that reaction on live on camera here.
For me?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, in New York, you're from New York.
I am from New York.
I'm
lucky not to be a Knicks fan, but I'm always interested to see who is going to get that chance to
laugh at the hometown,
to play under the bright lights and do big things.
I laugh at my Philly teams all the time, so
yeah.
It's always fun to laugh at the hometown teams, especially.
I have a feeling, unless Obi gets swiped here, you would have to think that
Detroit can go anywhere because Detroit has so many holes, and well, I guess
I liked Obi's value up to this point. I would think it's here.
He's by far the best value on the board. Let's see. Very interesting here.
Nope.
They went overseas.
So Killian Hayes there, and I have to think that
if the Knicks do not draft top in here, they are
big swing and a miss.
Huge swing and a miss. Large swing and a miss.
I don't see anybody else up on that board that I feel like value-wise at number 8, you would say. So Killian Hayes here. Killian Hayes for Detroit goes with the number 7 pick to Detroit. Point guard out of France. Detroit, a lot of work to do all around to get into some kind of contention. So we'll see his impact. The guy who got to play professional ball, another guy that's young and has a chance to fill in his body like LaMelo, played overseas professionally, and then potentially make an impact having that experience. So
lefty shooter. Only lefty shooter that comes to mind for me is Mr. Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, they weren't kidding when a lot of the coverage earlier today was talking about how unpredictable the draft was really going to be outside the top 3. And I think we're seeing that. I mean, the fact that some of these guys.
Well, Denny and Halliburton, I mean, they're still sitting there. Then they were projected in the top 5.
Killian looks like Lonzo. I mean, sure.
I don't know about all that.
But I think that, I honestly, good for Killian Hayes. Go to Detroit. Detroit needs a lot of work. I mean, Blake Griffin is about as injury prone as just about anybody ever. Lots of work needs to be done there in Detroit. Sekou Doumbouya, guy from last year. Hopefully, a lot of people are touting as at least in the card industry for sure, touting as the next potential Giannis. So we'll see. A lot to be said there.
But here come the Knicks.
Yeah, that's it.
The pick that punchlines are made of, no matter what they do.
This is everything. This is front page news tomorrow in New York. No matter who it is, it's going to be good. It's going to be bad. I mean,
is the speculation Halliburton?
It can't. Halliburton cannot go to the Knicks because then I can't root for him. But there goes the sleeper potential because his cards will be very highly sought after. So I really don't want him to go to the Knicks for 2 reasons.
Oh, maybe he was a sleeper before, and you just happen to know based on the team and end up with. Makes your pick look good.
Yeah, I mean,
if you invested in him a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, let's actually, while we're waiting on the Knicks, let's see if we got any updated sales on this Wiseman before we hop off air here, because I don't want to forget about that. See if this Wiseman silver's jumped in value from that $30 range. See if there's been any higher sales since the pick. I'm sure we've seen some, for sure.
So up to 35. I'd focus more on the volume of sales that's taking place.
Lots of sales.
Yeah, so one even up to 40 now.
Yeah.
On an auction ending right at the right time, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, the card's
it's more been volume of sales, but the last sale was now up to 40 from the average of 30. Roughly 30. So things creeping up. Seeing a bump more so volume, but just attention to these guys, and everybody wants a piece of the action, get their stake in.
And it's 30% increase.
Yeah, I mean on a smaller scale, but nonetheless, hey,
30% increase.
If you bought 10 of them,
30% increase. If you had 10 of them,
and the Knicks pick is in. This is where we're going to finish off for the night. So one more quick shout out to Quick Rips Breaks for
the box,
hooking it up with the Prism Draft box. So thank you to Quick Rips. Be sure to check them out. They're going to have a lot of breaks coming, so you can do that again whenever you'd like. All different products. We are happy to answer questions. DM us. Check out our Instagrams. Be sure to follow the Card Knocks A2D Instagram, and then both Redbeard and King of the Cards, so we can stay in touch with you guys, and you can follow all the content we're putting out there. I'd hope they take over top.
Let's see. Do we literally end the live here speechless? Do we have no words, or do we somewhat get excited for the
knowing the Knicks? I feel like it's going to be somebody that's not even on the best available.
That sounds like the Knicks. That's very Knicks. And honestly, for all my Philly people watching, I hope it is someone that's not even on the best available, and someone else we can clown the Knicks fans for. But
pick is in.
Let's see what they do. Here comes Mr. Silver. This is it, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Very interesting here.
There you go. They got it right.
That's it.
At least in our eyes, the New York Knicks have gotten something right in terms of an opportunity to grab great value with an 8th overall selection, a team that was lotteried, that was supposed to be in those top few picks, that somehow falls out of top 5, just the way things fall for that franchise. And they made the most of it. They made the most of it. This guy can come in and actually take touches, make an impact, score the basketball. Him and RJ, man. Him and RJ.
Yeah.
RJ develops a little bit more. He comes in, makes an immediate impact.
That's the new king in New York right there.
I think so.
That's the new king in New York. Just like that, New York has a new king. But with that being said, we're going to sign off for the night. Be sure to stay on A2D. They got a show coming up here at 9 o'clock as well. Overall, obviously we only got 8 picks in because the NBA draft, of course, they're going to drag out this as long as they can. We'll be up till the wee hours of the morning. But for everybody who took part in our break tonight,
congrats, guys.
Congrats to all who have hit so far. The rest of these cards, once we figure out where these guys go, we'll get in the mail tomorrow or the latest on Friday.
But some sick hits.
Yeah,
big hits. All the main names, all those top picks, they're coming out to you. So thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you to our sponsors, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks, Knox Nation. We'll see you then.
Have a good night.